the winner a long way out, Karen, and got the job done nicely.
He did, Robbie. He took a bit of driving to get to the front. If Zach wasn't handing up, I wasn't going to get the front, that was for sure. But once he got there, he got keen and travelled really well. And yeah, he went to the line really good. He was just getting a little bit tired right on the line, but he's only second up.
Second up, obviously you got a fairly good opinion of the horse. Merv, of course, one of the owners, Merv Butterworth, who buys a lot of these horses from New Zealand. And to take him over to Western Australia, obviously the thought was he was good enough to go for the trip and come back home.
Yeah, I thought Merv thought was going with a few, so he might throw him in, might be able to win an MO over there. But look, he went good the first night there, ran second, but just he's a bit of a worrywart and a bit of a funny-natured horse, and he didn't fire at all in the final. He went very ordinary there, but he had a good spell after that, and yeah, he's come back quite good.
He looks well. He's nice and robust, not an overly big horse, but still a good-sized horse.
Yeah, he's medium-sized, but yeah, like I said, he's got a bit of thickness to him. He's sort of quite a solid little fella, and he got a bit of speed, and I'm not sure how far he'll go, but look, he's certainly done a good job so far, and if he can win a few more, we'd be pretty happy with that.
Chris Elford, well done. Race number 2's down, and you get home here with Big Jack Hammer, who began very well, found the lead, travelled strongly, and was very good going to the line.
Yeah, he feels like a nice horse. Tim and Brooke haven't had him that long. I think this was their first run with him, and said he trialled really well at Maryborough last week, and they were confident he'd run well, and they were right.
He certainly did go very well. He's a nice-looking type, and obviously a horse that's always possessed some very good ability.
Yeah, I think he was a nice young horse, and then went off the rails a little bit and went to Sydney, and I think he's been gelded now, and yeah, he was, raced really well tonight. He just did it under his own steam, really.
She was able to tough it out. Michael Stanley drove a terrific race in trying to win and maybe get you beaten at the same time, Chris, but your horse was just too strong.
Yeah, she was really good tonight, Rob, and she has been right through. She just was a bit off colour in Sydney for the gold, but she's come back, and tonight's win was really strong. She got a good run through and lobbed into the 1-1, and I sort of raced the leader the other day, and it did a bit of work and got tired, so I thought maybe he might trail tonight, so I went up and had a look, but he was happy to lead and run along, and she travelled really good outside him and was real strong up the straight.
This filly here, I would imagine she's up with the top echelon in the Emma Stewart stable?
Yeah, you would think so, and she's got a bit of a glitch in her gait, but doesn't seem to worry her, and she seems really strong and has got good speed, so come size time, and she's a big, strong filly, so she should just keep getting better and better.
Yeah, pretty special moment for us on a number of occasions, and I did say to Zach earlier on in the week that he'd been promoted into my favourites list on my mobile phone when I picked up my new mobile phone on Sunday, and that made you very happy, didn't it?
Yeah, it made me feel very special, Rob.
Yeah, well, you should. It's been a pretty special moment for Grant Foxwell, Peter Kelly, myself, Chris Kelsall and Ian Sievers. We've been racing this generation of horses for over 25 years we've been together, and the mother of this horse, Bella Aurora, we lost her during the week, which was pretty sad for us. She was 18 years of age, and she's left 10 foals. The first 8 have all been winners, and obviously with that was Bella's Delight, and this horse here is our second favourite one, and she gives everyone a bit of a heart attack. I think she does that to the punters, to the trainers, to the owners, and also the driver as well. But she does it all the time, and she just keeps winning, and she just knows where the line is.
Yeah, that's right, Rob. She knows how to time her run well. She never wins by a big margin, but as you said, she always manages to get the job done. Paul and Kari have done a marvellous job with her this season. She's, to win an MO and an M1, she's done a terrific job, and it's really a credit to them and yourself and the other owners, how patient you are with your horses. It's a credit to you, and you reap the rewards on nights like tonight.
No, pretty much said she's been a bit of a slow developer, and we always thought that she'd take a little bit of time, in particular being by Rock and Roll Hanover and Adabella Aurora, and most of her progeny have sort of improved as they've got older, and certainly she's been right in that category from day one. She's a beautifully natured horse. We took her for a little bit of a trip to Menangle a fortnight ago, and she handled that really well, and the track more importantly, because we've always felt that big track at Menangle would be probably an ideal place for her. And she seemed to travel really well up there as well.
Yeah, that's right, Rob. Obviously, she can tend to hit her knee a little bit, so the big spacious track up there at Menangle suited her really well. She went good, and probably a good confidence booster for her tonight. I don't know. I think she's meant to head back up there in a couple of weeks with any sort of luck. So she'll be more than competitive at Metro level.
I know you were saying a long way from home you felt you were the winner.
Yeah, that's right, Rob. He actually probably surprised me a little bit tonight. The speed was on which it needed to be for us to be sort of any sort of chance from drawn 13, but I was probably giving him 20 or 30 at the 300 or 400, and just as soon as I pulled him out, he was just travelling that good. I just felt so confident that he'd run him down, and he did.
Couple of times we saw him during that little flat patch where you drove him a little bit more tougher into the breeze. Just talking about the horse themselves, I mean, obviously some horses, in this case with him, got obviously a little bit unsettled by that. And does he feel different when you drive him so quite early?
Yeah, definitely. As you said, it's probably through fault of my own early days because he was such an easy assessed horse class-wise, and we did have an opinion of him. We tended to drive him a little bit tougher in the weaker classes, and he got a little bit fired up and he just wasn't running all that well, and Adam just decided to take him out of the country racing and just put him in Metro class races and just drive him quiet, and the rest is really history. He's just strung a few together, and I think he's an M3 now, and his future looks very bright.
Had a little bit of a freshen up again and has come back and got the job done in terrific style. 155 3-mile rate. She's all tuned up heading into the Vicbred series in a fortnight's time, Chris, and another great performance here tonight.
Yeah, she's a really good mare, this one, Rob. She's got great speed, but also, just like tonight, just a real high cruising speed and just keeps running. And she's right on song for the side stakes, hopefully.
She certainly has. That was her 17th start, 12 wins and 3 placings. And tonight again, she had to step up against some of the other mares who have all got lots of ability, and she was still able to put them away pretty comfortably.
Yeah, that's right. She did a little bit of work early and then bullied her way to the front, and from then travelled really well and had a good kick, turning for home.
Well done to you, and well done to Chris. I'm not sure how long he's had the horse for now, but certainly he's been a horse that's always promised the world and loads of talent, and we saw it in action tonight.
Yeah, that's right, Rob. I think, he's been a hard horse to get along with right from the start when Scott had him, and now he's with Chris, and I'd never driven him before tonight, so all the credit for getting him, to this stage goes to Gavin as well. But he was really good tonight. He followed the speed, and I thought we were a bit too far back at the 400 when the leaders got away, but he really knuckled down well.
He certainly did. He came fast. He's got great acceleration.
Yeah, he bit funny to steer and all that, but he's sort of working it out now, and he's getting more consistent. He used to gallop a bit, I think, in the early days.
Yeah, he used to get fizzed up and a lot more relaxed tonight.
Yeah, well, he was really good tonight. I talked to Gavin just when we were walking around at the start to see, any tricks with him. He said, no, he's really good to drive now. And
credit to Chris Sfanozio doing a marvellous job.
Yeah, his horses are doing really well. He had a good grounding with, I think firstly Bruce Morgan, and then he was with Chris Lang and Matty Craven. So he's done the hard yards, and it's good to see him getting these results. Had
his first start and obviously needed to run and probably the question was going to be whether he needed one more to top him off, but he was well rated by you, Anthony, and he just lasted. He got the job done.
Yeah, you're probably right, Rob. He's probably, still on the way up, and, we've got the Breeders' Crown sort of open in the back of our minds, still in a few weeks' time, so he's not screwed down yet. But, yeah, it was nearly drive error. I sort of probably went too soon, but I was wanted to get a bit of space between myself and Amaretto, so he just pedalled late, but hopefully he'll take a bit of benefit from the run and go on onwards from here.
Yeah, he just had that horse outside you early, just doing enough to niggle at you, I would imagine.
Yeah, we got an easy first quarter, then it just kept me honest, but no, that was fine. We're only over a mile, so these horses have got to run those sectionals. But yeah, as you said, he really felt good, 10 over home and skipped away well. But as I said, I probably just went a little bit soon, so I got lucky.
Once you let him down, Dave, he sprinted fast, and we've seen that happen before in his previous races, and he's been able to do the job against a pretty good, high-quality field again tonight.
Yeah, he did, Rob. It was sort of a tricky race. Obviously, Michael had to do a little bit of work early on the leader, but Chris's horse was probably going to be the main danger, just sort of sitting off him and not putting a lot of pressure on, so it was always going to be a quick last quarter, but that's probably his best asset, really. He's very, very fast, and I think he'll go a long way, to be honest.
It looks that way. He certainly gives us the indication. He's by Modern Art, who are more Dow-type horses. He's always produced some really nice-going youngsters, but this horse here looks to have a bit of high speed about him, and obviously a little bit from the dam side as well.
Yeah, he does. We bought him from the Ready to Run in Sydney, probably a month before we went up. We had a bloke say to us that there's a Modern Art there that probably won't go for a lot of money, that's just getting better and better and better, and on the day, he was the quickest time of the day, which is, it doesn't mean everything, but it was just the way he done it in himself. And since we got him home, we had a few little dramas getting him pacing early, coming from an angle back to a smaller track, but he's just got better and better and better ever since he got his feet right.
Well done, Lance. Nice to have you back here in the winners list. As we heard from Dan, it's probably been a little while that you've had a break having a chat to me, but nice to reacquaint myself with you.
Yeah, no, I haven't spoke to you for a fair while, but I've had a few things go wrong. I had that fall in January and broke a couple of ribs and did a shoulder, and I've had a lot of trouble getting back. So it's good to be back out and winning. I haven't got many horses in work, but I'm sure I've got a few more that can win before the end of the season.
You're more like a bionic man. You've had a few tumbles over the last few years, haven't you?
Yeah, I have. I've been lucky. I mean, I've been lucky. I've been pretty unlucky too. Since 2012, when I had the big crash, I went right through till January of this year. So 6 years. If you can go 6 years without having a crash, it's pretty good.
Tell me a little bit about Beach Skipper. That was his second run back from a spell. He looks like he's come back well. When he first came across, he was racing well. Consistently, just struggling a little bit to win a few in a row, but he's certainly looks like you've got him back on track.
Yeah, he had a quarter crack really bad, and I was trying to race him with a bad foot, and he just wasn't feeling it. So I gave him a good break, got it to grow out. And look, I think he's a nice little horse, and I think he'll win plenty more. What
about your current team? You mentioned you've got a small team in work. Who have you got in work at the moment?
I've probably only got about 5 in work that are going to race. But it's the smallest team I've ever had. Like, I've got about 39 empty stables around them. So I'm not sure. I've got Rishi, of course. He goes all right. He trials good. He's got to put it together on the racetrack yet. Phil Monty went good the other night. He's an old pensioner, still goes around. But other than that, I haven't got a lot of horses. So the Trotter, Carnera, not a lot.
Well done. I mean, 5 winners on any meeting is a special one, and especially when you're driving here at Melton. And I said to Chris he should go to New Zealand more often. Obviously that weekend away freshened you up, young man.
Yeah, no, it's good to be back. It was good to get away for a little while and have 4 quiet days, but back racing is what I like, and driving horses like this makes it so much better.
This little filly, she's doing it so well, isn't she? 12 wins from 17 starts. She's already amassed, 327,000, 328,000 in stake earnings. Phenomenal effort.
Yeah, no, she, last year she had a great year. I think she won her first 9, and the only time she got beaten was in a Breeders' Crown semi-final and come out and won the final. So she had a great year, and she's gone right on with it this year. The others, She's or Rock was hard to beat, but kept drawing better than us. And, I don't think it's coming back for the sire stakes now, so she'll be mighty hard to beat again.
Vincent shoots clear now. Is this a star on the rise? Vincent brains them. Vincent by 15. How big was that, Vincent? That was outstanding.
Heaven Rock's Titan better. It's an all-stars show in the Auckland Cup, and Vincent too good.